Yo, what up? It's your boy, I Sleep Too Late, and in this video, we are playing some more Hackmons on Battle Subway. This is Gen 5, and oh yes, Gen 5 is one of my favorites. Even though it's not very popular in the Pure Hackmons meta community, it is the generation where all of this kind of originated from. So, I guess we're just gonna have to Earthquake here. The great thing about Kyurem is that it has 170 attack, which is insane. It's like one of the, I think it's like the second highest attack in the game. And it's also got like probably the, or like second to highest, or maybe the highest base stat total. I think Arceus actually beats it, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we're going to use Earthquake here. We're Earthquaking our way through this. And yeah, there's not really a good ice move for Kyurem to have, so I do run Ice Beam here. And the reason why is because even though Ice Beam isn't going to help out with the Pure Power ability, it's still like better than nothing. And it has 100 accuracy, which to me is more valuable than like missing or having the risk of missing. Like for example, that did a lot of work, right? That in itself almost one-shotted the Golurk, and Golurk is already a very beefy Pokemon. So I also run leftovers here. It's just a bunch of bulk. Kyurem is incredibly bulky in addition to being a hard hitter. And so, you know, you're not really the fastest Pokemon. You're pretty fast with 252 EVs, especially in the Battle Subway. So you are going to outspeed a lot of things where EV on speed might not be super invested. We'll see. I don't know if we'll be able to solo this this Battle Subway series, this episode with just Kyurem. We might have to resort to Mewtwo. In a previous video, I used Contrary Mewtwo, which did a lot of work. I didn't need to switch. I didn't need to get help from any other Pokemon, but Kyurem obviously is very powerful. Pure Power is one of the most powerful abilities. Although, like I said before, in Gen 5, Pure Power, Huge Power, not the best. Because, you know, obviously you're very vulnerable to Wonder Guard, right? Wonder Guard is annoying, but at least in Gen 4, for example, you had like you could do Huge Power Fire Fang, and Fire Fang in Gen 4, if you don't know, actually lets you Pure Power lets you do like obviously double damage or like double your attack, and Fire Fang hits Wonder Guards. So even if your Pokemon isn't like weak to fire, Fire Fang will still hit through it. So we might play some Gen 4 videos in this series. We'll see. I'm very curious to see how things are going to turn out. But it looks like, you know, Kyurem's doing a pretty fine job here. Getting through all of this. Ice Beam turns out to be really good. I think that, you know, with the 120 special attack, it's not terrible. And you do have 252 EV investment on special attack too. That's one of the things I really like about Gen 5 and Gen 7 is that you can put 252 EVs in everything. So all your Pokemon are incredibly bulky. In Gen 6, you can't do 252 in every stat because the way the game was hard-coded, there was a 510 EV limit even for hacked Pokemon. So you couldn't play in 1v1, you couldn't play in Battle Mason. You just couldn't do it with the if you bypass the 510 EV limit. All right, so our first sturdy user. Oh no, they're gonna swagger. That can be annoying. Well, I'm just gonna. Oh, we hit ourselves. We oh let's hope we don't hit ourselves in confusion. This is gonna be tricky because we effectively got like Berserk Gene, right? Berserk Gene in Gen 2 is an item exclusive to Gen 2 where you basically double your attack. Your attack gets +2 stages and you get confused, which is exactly what Swagger does, except you're doing it to yourself, and it's actually pretty interesting because it's like you kind of like having that extra attack boost, but you also don't want to hit yourself in confusion. So it's a double-edged sword, obviously. But in the Pokemon No Nerfs format, which is the one that I made with a bunch of other people, we've been like play testing it, and it's been a lot of fun. We've been trying out like the item Berserk Gene as like a way to double your attack. It's not necessarily like amazing, but it is kind of useful because the only places that you can play it is obviously Gold, Silver, Crystal, and in the custom format that we have called No Nerfs, which is basically Pure Hackmons No Nerfs. I'll talk. You can see more about it in the hackmons.com website that we have. I'll link that in the description of this video so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's a lot of fun, and we do have a showdown server where you can play it. But yeah, we're gonna try to see how far we get with Kyurem Pure Power. The choice between Pure Power and Huge Power doesn't really matter. I personally like Pure Power just because like everyone else does Huge Power, and for me, Pure Power is like, I don't know. I feel like Pure Power is cooler, but that's just my opinion. Ooh, Sword Stance. Okay, well, we do outspeed Escavalier, so we should be okay here. Oh, no way. Quick Claw, really? All right, well, this isn't gonna KO us because we're pretty bulky. I was gonna say like we're pretty bulky, and that's the other thing about Gen 6. I noticed is like physical attacker, like more hyper offense Pokemon are like offensive Pokemon are generally better in Gen 6 because of the EV investments. Like not every Pokemon gets to have 252 EVs in every stat. So even if you wanted to do like EV investments in defense, you're not going to be like as bulky as something in Gen 6. Oh wow, look at this. We're getting our HP is going down. Contrary, Mewtwo never had this problem before. So it looks like Pure Power Kyurem might not be as powerful. Who would have known? All right, Bastiodon is also a little scary. We should be able to win a KO with Earthquake though. This should really not be a problem. But wait, does Bastiodon have Sturdy too? Oh my goodness. Everything has Sturdy. I was just saying in a previous video that I was just saying in a previous video that Sturdy, we didn't face a lot of Sturdy Pokemon in a previous game. So anyway, let's just go Dragon Claw here. This is a huge power Garchomp that I use, and unfortunately I was hoping not to have to use my other Pokemon for support, but we did get roared. I don't think that counts. You get to see a little bit of my other Mons here. Garchomp huge power is actually really good. It's not like as high an attack as Kyurem obviously, but the speed is so good. It's like low key very fast considering that it's a pseudo legendary. Like obviously it's not as fast as Mewtwo, but it's still pretty good. All right, well, Magnezone, we have to be careful here. I believe Magnezone has Levitate, so we are going to have to be careful here. I think that ooh, does this thing resist everything? I think it does. Let me just try Earthquake real quick. I think that, oh, I'm glad I tried that out. For some reason I thought Magnezone had Levitate. I was wrong though. Wait, I'm pretty sure Magnezone had Levitate. Am I crazy? I thought I could have sworn. Well, I guess that's fine. I'm not going to complain. I thought Magnezone had Levitate though. Doesn't it levitate? Doesn't it literally levitate? I don't know. But yeah, look, Claydol, listen, Claydol has literally survived like every single move. It's crazy. Claydol is a survivor. It might even survive this thing. Okay, no. I was going to say, it would be crazy if it survived a second attack. That would have been crazy. So against Porygon Z, our go-to is probably going to be like Dragon Claw, because it gets us stab 120 base power plus 100% accuracy, and so it's probably our best attack. You could also run Outrage in this set, but I don't like Outrage because you just kind of get locked in. So even though you deal like 180 base power with the stab, it's not ideal, right? I personally prefer using things like um, Dragon Claw, or I mean, Dragon Hammer. Dragon Tail is also kind of bad. You really don't want to miss. Whenever I like brew with custom sets or like Hackmon sets, I like to have 100% accurate moves if possible, and things that are like as hard hitting as possible. So like in Gen 7 it's easy because like Sunsteel Strike, Moongeist Beam are pretty optimal. Let's go Earthquake here. I think that's our best move against Sizer. Sizer is just really good. Survives everything. Ooh, and it might even... Okay, it's got Bullet Punch, right? So is it gonna... It's not gonna one it. There's no way it one KOs Kyurem. Okay, I was gonna say, we're definitely gonna outspeed it, but if it had Bullet Punch, I don't think that Bullet Punch would one KO Kyurem. Okay, so Dawn Fan, I think we're just gonna go Ice Beam here. Ice Beam, if you think about it, against super effective mons is kind of like a huge power. It's just very good. Oh, and Sturdy, of course. Wow, we've been facing a lot of sturdy Pokemon lately. This was not the case in the last video. I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, let's go ahead and try to get through this. We're facing a lot of sturdy mons. We faced like about 5 or 6 of them. Alright, well, the other downside to Gen 5, it's not really a downside, but like a quality of life thing, as I mentioned before, is that in previous videos, you don't have the ability to see which moves are super effective and which ones aren't. There you go, another sturdy mon. This is crazy. We're facing off against all these sturdy Pokemon, so like there's really no way for us to one-shot Pokemon with Pure Power. I guess we're gonna have to do Earthquake again. And this is also why it's so important to have 100% accurate moves, because if you're facing something with Sturdy, it gets to survive like extra attacks, right? So if you miss, then that's just another turn that it survives. So having Sturdy or Focus Sash can be very, very very hard. It can be very, very good against you if they have it. All right, I think that these stop at like 7. After 7 matches, I think they make you take a break, which honestly isn't a bad idea. It's pretty smart. All right, let's see here. Meganium. So Ice Beam is good. I'm wondering if Sacred Fire would be a better move for Kyurem, because it seems like a lot of these mons, like against a lot of these Pokemon, Sacred Fire would have been really good. But, you know, 120 special attack is also very good too. Alright, so their special defense is raised. We can still use Ice Beam here. The problem that we will face is if they have something that we really want to use Ice Beam on, but obviously with the light screen it's going to be a little bit annoying. Let's go ahead and use Dragon Claw. That should do enough. Alright, well, that's pretty good. I think we got one more mon to KO, and it's Lilligant. Ooh, this one has a crown rare in Pokemon TCG Pocket. It's a very good, not an amazing card, but it's actually pretty cool. Definitely worthy of the crown rare slot in that game. I do run a Pokemon TCG Pocket YouTube video channel, by the way, so it's called Tireless Golem. Check that out. It's linked in my it's linked in my profile if you go to my YouTube channel. And yeah, that's gonna be a wrap for today. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think about Kyurem B? Is it a good mon? Is it bad? I was a little bit disappointed by the fact that we kept hitting so many sturdy mons and we weren't able to just like one KO a lot of things. But anyway, that's gonna be a wrap for today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.